Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are of course, this is usually how we do the Nirvana podcast. However, today we're going to do a different type of video. We're going to do six pitches for the Child's Play film, which is coming out sort of later in June. And yes, June 21st. And for today, I have Liam Cook. He has three pitches. I also have three pitches. And for today, we're going to start with Liam. So, Liam, if you'd like to give me your first pitch, please.
Well, first pitch is, of course, Chucky to die in the classic way in the fireplace. Now, if they are rebooting the franchise and if they're making and possibly making this a complete new franchise, we should always start it off with the original death scene from Chucky in 1998, which is the fireplace death.
That's actually not the worst thing I've heard all week. I've seen that a lot of things going out by like how Chucky should die and how Andy should kill Chucky and blah blah blah. That's actually not a bad idea. I feel like copying the original plot might be a bit too. It might be a bit too. Actually, I don't really know what the word is. It might worry some people that if they copy the original plot too much, because that means that they would be sort of tapping into the original series, which is, of course, still to go on with the TV show that's apparently coming out at some point next year or maybe this year. We're not actually too sure yet. It's actually a good pitch though. I kind of like that idea to kill Chucky back in the fireplace. You know, back when he's burning up and he sort of comes back and then he gets shot again. I actually like that idea, so I'm going to give that a yes. I think that's a good idea for me. My first pitch for Child's Play is that I don't think Chucky should reveal himself as Chucky until about an hour into the film. The way I mean this is that I want character development. You know, I want us to establish who Andy is. I want us to establish who his mother is. I want to establish who his sister is. I want us to establish who the character Andy is. Who is the character that I am going to support through this entire film? You know, who is he? I want him to be in this film.
You're forgetting something, but it is a Chucky film. If they're just going to do this like an hour in, not teasing them or like showing like a wee clip of him, maybe people are going to forget they've went to see a Chucky film.
Well, see, that is a good point, but I feel like the main issue that's grown through the original Child's Play series was that we only care about Chucky. We do not care about the other characters. And I forget her name, right? But I know that we sort of care about the Cult of Chucky and the Curse of Chucky character. You know, the one in the wheelchair. I know that we care about her.
You obviously don't care about her if you don't know her name.
Yes. I should know her name at this point. That's pretty bad of me. Unfortunately, we don't have Sean here to connect me, so that's annoying. But he would probably know her name. But yeah, we actually do care about her character. We care about the story arc behind her. But mostly we do care about Chucky. We care about Chucky getting all those kills, getting those unique kills from Chucky. But for this first at least hour of the film, now I'm predicting the film will be at least 2 hours long. But for the first hour, I am predicting that we do get just a lot of character development, because if we're going to get at least if we do get a trilogy of these films, I want to care about Andy. You know, I want to care about these characters. Sorry, excuse me. I want to care about these characters, and Chucky, I know, is going to be a strong character for this franchise if they do make it a trilogy. And I'm not going to care about these characters, and I'm not going to watch the sequel if it's just about Chucky. So for my first pitch, I would like Chucky to not reveal himself for the first at least hour of the movie, so that we can get to know about these characters. We can get to know about the mother, who is probably not. From what we've seen from the trailers, you know, she's probably not too, you know, she's not too hyped about the new technology as Andy is. You know, Andy also seems a bit too shaky about it. The sister seems quite fine about it. We've not actually seen much about the sister, but I would like for the first hour to get a lot of character development between like the relationships between Andy and his mother, just how Andy is for the first film and how his mother is for the first film, because they were big parts in the original Child's Play, and that's what made me care a lot about the film, because we got to know a lot about these characters, and then of course Chucky revealed himself about 20-30 minutes in the film, and it was amazing because we got to know these characters first, and then Chucky came into play. So my first pitch, essentially, just to sort of narrow it down, is that Chucky doesn't reveal himself for an hour.
I do agree with that, but I'm just trying to think for like a casual audience who's only seen the trailers, they'll watch the first hour, forget it's a Chucky film, but I do get what you mean by the loss in character development and like most of the Chucky franchise. So I do agree with you. I'll agree with that.
So Liam, what is your second pitch for Child's Play?
I think it's I kind of out there one, but I feel like if they could do this, and it's probably more to the original Chucky's like Child's Play. It is for Chucky. He should be serious. He shouldn't be this comical, joking like every one liner, every single sentence that he hits. I think it's Mark Hamill that's voicing Chucky, I believe.
Yeah.
And if Mark Hamill's voicing Chucky, he could do some cynical stuff with. You've seen that with Joker. Of course, you can really grasp and become what Chucky's meant to be, because it's Charles Lee Ray that's in the Chucky body, of course.
Mm.
Charles is a murderer and he's a serial killer, and later on in the franchise you kind of forget that because he's hitting all these one-liners. So I think they should, at the very least, make him a serious character.
Do you know what, Liam? I actually agree with you with that one. I don't know if Sean's going to watch. Just to sort of put it out there, Sean's a big fan of the Child's Play series. He's a big fan of it. He wants it to do well. But I actually agree with Liam here. I think that we need a serious slasher film, especially in the modern genre. Halloween last year was an absolutely great success, and it was a serious film.
It was.
Now, I think that Child's Play should be a serious sort of horror film, and I think that Chucky should be a serious killer, and that's why I agree with you a lot with that. I don't think he should be joking.
Like with Seed and Bride, it was more one-liners than actual kills.
Well, yeah. You make a good point there. Like with Seed and with Bride, it was a lot about Chucky, and it was a lot about him being sort of jokey and not taking things too seriously. I think it'd be a good turnaround for for this film series if we got a Chucky that was more serious, and it was a lot more like, I want to kill this kid rather than I want to just make a bunch of jokes and do a bunch of jokey kills. As much as they are fun in the original series, I think that this Child's Play series should be a lot more serious, and that's why I totally agree with you with that one. I think we should get a more serious Chucky, and yeah, Mark Hamill's a great pick to sort of be like, this can be a serious killer with serious sort of implications.
People forgetting, if you watch the first Child's Play, like if you watched the first Child's Play in 1998 and then you didn't watch the rest of them and then moved to 2017, you're gonna think what went wrong between there, because you went for Jason or Michael Myers, a serious killer, to Freddy Krueger with the jokey kills, with the jokey one-liners. It's dumb. That's not what Chucky is. Chucky's a serial killer.
Yeah, you're totally right. I actually believe that Freddy should be left to being the sort of jokey killer, mainly because that he actually kills you in your dreams as well. So like, Freddy should be allowed to sort of have that freedom of sort of jokey but like serious kills. And I think that because Chucky lives in the real world, so of course he should be able to kill you outright. Let's move on to my second pick. My second pick is that I think that this film should be a modern slasher film, but not too modern. You know, let's let's keep this in the down low, shall we? Let's not make this a 2019 film. Let's make this a maybe 2015, 2014. Let's have robotic hoovers. You know what I mean? Let's have what are they called? Robotic sort of drones. Let's have drones. Let's have Chucky control these things, but not have Andy go on his phone and Chucky controls it. Let's not have scenes like that. Like scenes where the security cameras that Chucky controls. Let's not have stuff like that. Let's have a modern Chucky film, but not far too modern. I feel like if it was far too modern, people would think it's a bit too cliche. People might think it's a bit too going of itself, and that means that the sequel has to be set in the future. I don't think people would like that. I think people might want a modern Chucky film for Child's Play, but not too modern. That's my second pitch for today's video.
What I don't want in this Chucky reboot is the fact it's going to make plugs so much. She gets in the modern times with the apps and all this stuff that's been shown. They're going to plug YouTube, like Twitch. They're going to plug all this, and it's going to be so unnecessary. This is what I don't want in a Chucky film. I don't want product placement like that, like so severe in a Chucky film, and I don't want him to like. There's going to probably be like one scene where it's going to be like a Chucky YouTube channel. I don't want like that. That's just going to be completely dumb. But I do get what you mean with the drones, and like you can control a drone and stuff. But then again, that could lead to a gimmick kill.
Oh yeah, it's totally going to lead to a gimmick kill. It's totally going to lead to maybe someone in the store, or someone maybe his mother, maybe Andy's mother will die by the drone. Like, to me, that's totally acceptable, and to me that's totally fine. But I don't want to see a kill where like Andy's playing a game on his phone and Chucky controls it. I don't want to see that. I've seen that before, and I do not want a series that has been built for so long through the 90s to now. I don't want to see a series go into that sort of market. I want to see Child's Play do super well. I'm a fan of Chucky. I'm not as big of a fan of Chucky as I am Jason. A lot of you will know that I'm a massive Friday the 13th fan. I'm not as big of a fan of Chucky, but I do like the Chucky series. I do like the Child's Play series, and I want this Child's Play to do well. And I think for it to do well, it doesn't have to be too modern. And I think Liam hits it on the head there. I don't think we should get kills like that. I think we should be getting kills that, with the drone, and maybe with maybe even with like iPads or phones like that, like maybe even with kills like that. But for me, I don't want to see Andy on his phone and then like Chucky starts controlling his phone. I feel like that'd be a wasteful scene, and I don't want to see it at all.
Aye.
Yeah. So that's really my pitch here. Is just, don't make it too modern. Don't make it like 2019 modern where like we're all living now. Make it maybe 2015, 2014 where we've all been there, and we all know the situations and like the conspiracies that could have happened back then, and maybe Chucky starts dwelling into that. That's really my pitch there for that.
Right. I agree with you there. I agree with you. I don't want this 2019 YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, all that being like implemented with Chucky like hacking it all. But I do agree with the 2015 version, like just drones and like RC cars maybe.
Yeah, like RC cars I think would be a terrific kill for someone. Just a car runs over a woman, and then maybe like a lawnmower runs over her as well. I think that'd be a sick kill. So Liam, what is your last pick for the Child's Play film?
No, this one's a bit different. As we know, I think it's Cult of Chucky, in the final one that they released before the TV show was announced. There was like dolls, of course. There was lots of them. It was different than I'm pretty sure they were all possessed or something. I can't really remember what happened in the film, to be honest. But with the 6 dolls that are made for Chucky, with the production, I feel like there should be like an end scene, probably different to the probably different, but it still ends the same as a death scene. With all the app, I think the app should create and like possess 6 different dolls, and that could be like an end fight scene, like they did in Chucky 2, Child's Play 2, where they went in at the factory. But instead of the one Chucky, it's 6 of them, and I think that'd be a cool end fight scene.
That's actually not a bad idea. I feel like the end scene for Child's Play this year will probably be Andy versus just the one Chucky. So for this reason, I'm actually going to say no, mainly because I think they're going to start to reboot the franchise, and I think they're just going to get Andy versus Chucky, or maybe Andy and his sister versus Chucky. It's not a bad idea for the original series, but for this new series, I'm going to say no. I feel like it would just be far too confusing for a lot more Chuckies to be in it, rather than just the one Chucky, which is voiced by Mark Hamill.
The only reason why I've picked like such a broad like fight scene is because in the posters, which should be up on screen if they're not in, well done. If they're not on the screen, there's different posters that have been released for Chucky, and they're all different types of Chucky. So that's what I think. That's what's led me to a thing list.
See, that isn't actually the worst conclusion that I've heard of. Like, a lot of people are saying that the reason that we're seeing different Chuckies in every promotional picture is because that they are different Chuckies. So that wouldn't actually be the worst idea if we do get a lot of different dolls into the film. However, my feeling towards it is just that they are seeing the reaction of people who are saying that these Chucky's dolls look shit, and they're trying to change the look of Chucky a lot. Sorry, excuse me. And that's why I feel like, to me, it looks like Chucky just stays the same the entire way through. However, he just looks different, but it's the same Chucky. So, for me personally, and I'm sorry to do this to you, Liam, but I've got to say no for this one. I want to see Andy versus Chucky. I want to see the classic battle from the original Child's Play. I want to see it in this Child's Play. I hope it doesn't disappoint me. But unfortunately, I've got to say no for this one. I don't want to see different Chuckies. I just want to see the one Chucky that's after Andy, that's after that family. And yeah, I've got to say no to this one. I'm sorry about that.
It's fair.
So for my third pick, I want to see Chucky in the post-credit scene now. For this to work, I want to see Andy kill Chucky at the end of the film. Quote unquote kill Chucky at the end of the film, and I also want to see him in the post-credit scene, and when he wakes up again, when Chucky wakes up again, I want him to see Tiffany. I want him to see Tiffany from, and for those of you who don't know Tiffany, she's in Bride of Chucky. She's in Cult. She's in Curse. Actually, no, she's not in Curse. Actually, I made a mistake. She's not in Curse. She's only in Cult, and she's only in Bride. She's also in Seed. Sorry, she's in those films. And I think we should see a different version of Tiffany. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be the original actress playing her. I'm forgetting the name of her now, and I probably should know this, but it's a really original actress that plays Tiffany, and I think we should see her in the post-credit scene, because we've had 2 post-credit scenes now from the last 2 Chuckies, and I think we might get one in this Child's Play. And I think for this post-credit scene, we should see Chucky and Tiffany. And I think that should set up for the sequel of Child's Play, which will have Chucky and Tiffany in the film. Hopefully not their son/daughter, because I don't think he really officiates his gender in Seed of Chucky. So, So I think we should see Chucky and Tiffany in the sequel. But I think there should be a post-credit scene to set that up.
I have to disagree with this, yo. I need to. The fact that I don't want Tiffany in the first. If they're doing this in trilogies, that is, I don't want Tiffany in the first 3 Chucky films. I'd like Child's Play. Okay. I'd like Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 just to be solely on Chucky, because if you're forgetting, Mark Hamill will probably do a fantastic job with this Chucky role, and I want him to develop as much as the cast do. And if they're going to add Tiffany along with Chucky, they're going to focus on them too much, and then that will lose the character's development for the actual humans who are getting chased and killed.
That's a good point that you make there. I feel like to not only to grab newer fans to the franchise, I feel like if you grabbed older fans who actually stuck with the Child's Play series because Tiffany was introduced into the series, I feel like for the fans that stuck with it, I feel like they would be more interested in this new sort of franchise if we brought in Tiffany. But I do see where you're coming from there. I feel like we should just get like a more established Chucky with Mark Hamill voicing him. Hopefully, if there is a sequel, Mark Hamill will stay voicing Chucky. I feel like he's going to be pretty good from the trailers that we've seen. He does seem to be like a good voice for Chucky, which is interesting because from my personal experience of Mark Hamill, he has only voiced the Joker, and his Joker adaptation was phenomenal. Like I love the cartoon Joker that Mark Hamill voices. It's fantastic. So it's going to be interesting to see how he voices Chucky for the entire film. From what we've seen from the trailers, it's been great. But I totally agree with what you're saying, though, Liam. I feel like it will be different just to see Chucky through a trilogy of films just by himself. But for me personally, Tiffany kept me through Seed and Bride. Like he's a reason. Like Tiffany's the reason that I watched those two films just by themselves. Like the actors in them are terrible, but Tiffany is the reason that I watched those two films because she's in it a lot, and she's in it a big part of it, and it's the reason that I'll keep watching those two films. And she's also the reason that I like Curse, because she actually brings a lot of colour to the film, because the film's a lot of just white, and it's just white. But she comes in with that red lipstick and the red dress. You know, she brings a lot of different colour to it. Sorry, for Cult of Chucky, not for Curse of Chucky.
If you're forgetting something, but if you're saying just Chucky for the first three films, you're forgetting in the original trilogy, the one he finds out Andy, the one Andy goes to the military, and the one Andy goes to a foster home, it is just Chucky. Tiffany comes in in the fourth one. So I don't think, yes, it would be different, right? But it worked for those three, and I think it went downhill as soon as Tiffany got introduced.
Yeah, there is that argument for it, and a lot of people really don't like the Child's Play 3 film. Like a lot of people don't like that film. I agree with them. I don't think the third one really offers anything new to the series, but I think Bride of Chucky does. I think when Tiffany was introduced, I think she offered a lot more to the film than Chucky could have just like done by himself, and I feel like the sequel maybe needs a Tiffany. Maybe it's not played by the original actress, and I should know her name, and I'm sorry about this, but I should know her name. We didn't do too much research before this film. I should know her name, but yeah. So I feel like if we got a new Tiffany, I feel like personally that the sequel would live a lot up to the original of this new series of films. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming by. Like the first three were doing fine with just Chucky. Of course, the third one is debated a lot by Child's Play fans. A lot of people don't like it, but the first two are considered to be the best ones. Jennifer Tilly, yes, thank you. That is her name.
I was thinking about that all day.
Yes, Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, she's an amazing actress, and she really carried the series during Bride and Seed of Chucky. She really carried it a lot. Because as much as Don Mancini worked a lot on these characters, it's really Jennifer Tilly that carries the character, and she helped a lot through the series. She helped a lot to keep it alive. I don't feel like she would work in a sequel sort of way for this Child's Play film. I feel like we maybe need to cast someone else. I personally don't know who. Like I don't know who the hell you would cast for this. I hope they find someone good. But for me, for my last pitch, I feel like we should be casting a good Tiffany, and we should be getting her in the sequel. And I feel like it would spice things up for the sequel. It would make a lot of fans excited, a lot of the older fans, a lot of the newer fans excited to get another doll. But I totally get your point, though. Like the original trilogy done okay without a Tiffany.
And right, since we've marked off all of the pitches, I have one pitch that I've told you, Xander, that I just do not want, of course, in the Child's Play series, and that's to Chucky to die because the app crashes. I do not want that.
Yeah.
The first film, because if I see when I go to the cinema to watch this film that Chucky dies and the app crashes, that would probably be the worst killing of a horror icon alongside Michael Myers dying by Busta Rhymes.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. 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 That would suck. Like, if Chucky was about to kill Andy and, like, his phone said, like, low battery and Chucky stops, that would fucking suck. Like, that would be so shit.
I just realised something. See, if they do a scene, do you remember the battery scene from Chucky 1? Obviously,
Yes.
you would. Right. What if he's like this? He's looking at obviously Chucky's like this. Oh, my phone's died. Let me put it on charge. Boom. Looks at Chucky. He's gone. He's this. Oh no, my phone battery was dead.
Oh, that would suck. For those of you who might not know this, me, Liam, and Sean do plan on going to see this new Child's Play film, and we will give you our initial reactions after we do see the movie. We really hope we don't have to see that. We really do hope we don't have to see that. That would really suck. At the end of the day, I think we should really hope that this Child's Play film is different. We should hope that it offers different things. Of course, with it being a lot more modern than the original, it will, of course, sort of build way for the director to sort of introduce a lot of new things for the Chucky doll and for the character of Andy. I hope I can get behind Andy, because the whole point of Child's Play, like the whole point of the original 3 films, was to get behind that character. It was to support that character in order to hate the Chucky doll. As the series grew on, of course, we sort of started to fall in love with Chucky. We started to fall in love with how many jokes he made and the kills that he would create. I hope that with this Child's Play we can fall in love with Andy and not just Chucky. I've got to say, yeah, I totally agree with you, Liam. I do not want to see Chucky stop killing people because the app crashes or like his phone dies or whatever dies. I hope that really doesn't happen. I hope that Chucky's killed in an appropriate way, because he is a legendary horror killer. Like, if you were to make a Mount Rushmore of serial killers of the horror franchise, Chucky would maybe be in a lot of your picks for that Mount Rushmore. Question. It does seem like a UFC question, and maybe we might have that UFC question in the future. However, right now I feel like Chucky would definitely be in your Mount Rushmore. I feel like for the people listening to this podcast, you would put Chucky in there, along with maybe Ghostface, along with maybe Jason, maybe Freddy Krueger, maybe Michael Myers. A lot of you would put him in there, and I totally agree with you guys. I think Chucky is a legendary killer. He was certainly something different for the horror franchise. He changed up you purchasing a doll for your child because you felt like, what if this doll comes to life? You know, a lot of you felt that way, and I do not blame you for that, because the Chucky franchise was that strong that he sort of made you feel like that way. And I don't think that an app that crashes for Chucky to stop killing people would be the sort of way to go around that. So I think that's a really good point, Liam. I do not want to see that in this Chucky film, and if I do see it, I will be pissing myself laughing through the entire film.
Well, I think that's wrapped up pretty much everything we need to know. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter. That's Nerdvana official. Nerdvana YouTube.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can follow us on Nerdvana. You can follow Xander Staff at Xander_Staff, and you can follow me, of course, Liam of Nerdvana, where you can find the top retweets and tweets. But of course, thank you all for watching. It's been a great journey between us. Like, subscribe, and as always, do you.
Good night, Andy.